Listen closely, because for the next few minutes, I'm going to rewire how you think about what it takes to become Batman. Not the comics, not the movies, not the myth, the real, raw, human possibility. You're going to feel skeptical at first? Good. Skepticism sharpens the mind, but by the time I'm finished, you'll either be quietly certain this is possible, or quietly terrified by how close it already is. Either way, your thinking will have changed. That's the point. Start with one simple truth. Batman is a recipe, not a miracle. He isn't born perfect. He's built. Strength, speed, technique, strategy, observation, gadgets, recovery, obsession. Those are the ingredients. Each ingredient is absolutely real. Each one can be trained, measured, and improved. None of them require magic. So the only real question is, could one human assemble all of them to a level where the result looks like Batman? And the honest answer, louder, clearer, is yes, under very specific conditions. Yes, in parts, not perfectly, but terrifyingly close. Now let me plant a seed and water it. Imagine a person who commits every waking hour to training, years, maybe decades, with near-perfect coaching, elite medical support, and unlimited money. Imagine a body honed through progressive overload until tendons, ligaments, and bones adapt to impossible loads. Imagine a mind trained to notice patterns you miss, to remember faces and routes, to calculate risks in heartbeats. Imagine surgical-grade recovery protocols that keep that body working when normal people would break. Put all of that together, and what you get is not fantasy. You get a human who moves and thinks like a myth. But here comes the important cut. There is no single training plan that magically creates Batman overnight. Instead, there are disciplines stacked like bricks, elite strength and conditioning, several combat systems fused into a personal style, hours of stealth and urban movement, clinical situational awareness, and relentless study of forensics and psychology. Each brick is doable. Each brick is brutally expensive in time, pain, and sacrifice. Stack enough of them, and the tower rises. You must also accept the practical limits. Genetics play a quiet role. Age and injury are merciless adversaries. And law, society's rules, will often be the sharpest constraint on any would-be vigilante. But don't let those limitations fool you into complacency. The realistic Batman isn't invincible. He's meticulous. He reduces risk so surgically that danger feels like a controlled experiment. That's what makes the idea believable. Not that he can't be hurt, but that he plans so well, you rarely see the wound coming. So for the next part of this video, we'll break down the exact pillars: physical conditioning, combat mastery, tactical movement, investigative craft, cognitive training, and recovery science. You'll learn which parts are low-hanging fruit anyone can start today, which parts require elite infrastructure, and which parts are simple myths we need to discard. I'll show you what yes looks like and what almost but not quite looks like. By the end, you'll know whether Batman's training would work in real life, and you'll understand how close a single determined human could get. Listen carefully. The truth will be more practical than you expect, and more unsettling than you want. Either way, it will change how you see training forever. 1. Physical conditioning. To even stand in Batman's shadow, your body has to become a weapon. That means total system mastery. Strength, speed, endurance, and mobility all fused together. You don't train for looks, you train for survival. Heavy lifts for raw power, sprints for explosive control. Mobility work, so joints don't betray you under pressure. Every session is calculated, every rep recorded. You don't just train muscles, you reprogram movement itself. When you reach this level, fatigue becomes data, pain becomes feedback, and your body finally stops being your weakness and becomes your first weapon. 2. Combat mastery. Batman's fights aren't about fancy moves. They're about control. Real combat is ugly, fast, and unforgiving. That's why you blend systems: wrestling for control, Muay Thai for damage, Jiu-Jitsu for leverage, and situational training for chaos. You don't fight to look cool. You fight to end it. Every strike is efficient. Every grapple decisive. You learn to fight when you can't breathe, when you can't see, when everything's stacked against you. The goal isn't to destroy others. It's to make sure no one can destroy you. Calm, controlled, efficient. That's what real combat looks like. 3. Movement and stealth. Batman doesn't teleport. He moves smarter than anyone else. Parkour, tactical movement, balance. It's all about turning the city into your ally. You train to vault, climb, and run in silence, learning how light, shadow, and sound reveal you. You study your own body mechanics until every step feels calculated. You rehearse entering and exiting environments without being seen. Over time, the world slows down for you. While everyone else stumbles, you flow. True stealth isn't invisibility. It's invisibility disguised as normal movement. That's the art you're chasing. 4. Tactical and investigative intelligence. Batman's real weapon isn't his fists, it's his mind. Tactical intelligence is the art of seeing patterns others miss. You train your brain to process faster, remembering faces, spotting changes in behavior, reading micro-expressions. You study forensics and psychology, not to play detective, but to predict human chaos before it happens. Every day becomes data collection. Every sound, every object, every word. You train your mind to zoom out under stress, to stay logical when panic hits. Because in reality, the smartest fighter is the one who sees the trap before it's set. 5. Mental conditioning and stress control. This is the layer that breaks most people. You can lift, fight, and run. But can you stay calm when everything goes wrong? Batman's mind is forged through stress inoculation, exposure to controlled chaos until panic feels like routine. You train under fatigue, under noise, under fear. You learn breath control, visualization, and split-second decision-making. Every time your heart races, you reframe fear as focus. You stop chasing comfort. You build resilience instead. In the end, your mind becomes unshakable. Not fearless, but untouchable. 6. Recovery and longevity. Batman isn't powerful because he trains non-stop. He's powerful because he recovers perfectly. Sleep, nutrition, and medical awareness are his hidden weapons. You track your recovery like you track your progress. Ice, mobility work, meditation, all of it rebuilds the system. You train first aid because knowing how to fix damage matters more than pretending you can't be hurt. And above all, you pace yourself. You plan deloads, manage burnout, and treat rest like training. The true professional doesn't chase exhaustion. He manages it with surgical precision. So, would Batman's training work in real life? Absolutely, but not for dreamers. Only for the few who confuse body, mind, and method with obsessive precision. It's not about being a superhero. It's about removing every excuse until your potential feels unnatural. That's how Batman becomes real, not through fantasy, but through relentless, intelligent obsession. Now here's the truth you didn't want to admit. Batman's training could work, but not for you, not for most people, because it demands the one thing almost no one is willing to give: obsession without applause. No audience, no likes, no comfort, just the slow, grinding transformation of a human into something unrecognizable. That's why the idea of Batman feels impossible. Not because it is, but because it's too real. You could start tomorrow. You could build the body, sharpen the reflexes, forge the discipline, but you won't, because it's easier to watch someone else do it than to suffer through becoming that person yourself. So here's my question, and don't answer too fast. If it were actually possible to become Batman, no powers, no fiction, just pure human precision, would you dare to do it? Or would you stay ordinary, telling yourself it's just a movie? Comment your honest answer, because somewhere out there, someone is training right now, and they're not laughing, they're becoming.